Today the topic that we are going to study is the endocrine system in humans. The human body has two regulatory systems. First, the nervous system, which regulates the breathing, movement and sensory works, and the endocrine system, which controls the growth and metabolism portion. Now, endocrine system functions with the help of glands, which can be of two types. First, the exocrine glands, which are duct gland. That means they have special tubes which releases the chemical substance known as enzymes. Examples are like salivary gland, gastric gland. The second one, which is the major important one, that is the endocrine glands, which are ductless and they secrete the chemical substance hormones. Examples are pituitary gland, thyroid gland. What are hormones? Hormones are the chemical messengers which controls and coordinates and the metabolic activities of the body. So what are the characteristics of these hormones? Hormones are produced in very small quantity. They are fast in action but obviously slower than the neurons of the nervous system. They act away from the source, that is they are secreted at a different place and they act upon their targeted organs and they are destroyed just after the action. Now, what are these endocrine glands? There are many endocrine glands in the human body. The first one is the pituitary gland. It is P-shaped and is located at the base of the brain below the hypothalamus, that is in the midbrain region. It is the major gland, endocrine gland in the body, and it controls almost all the functions of the body. That's why it is also called the master gland. First hormone secreted from this gland is the growth hormone. From the name we can understand that it controls the growth and development of the bones and muscles of the body. Now, as these are chemicals, so obviously their oversecretion and undersecretion has certain effects. When this growth hormone is undersecreted, that is hypersecretion, it causes dwarfism. That means the human beings are smaller in height. And also there are hypersecretion effects. In child it causes gigantism, whereas in adults it causes acromegaly. When excessive huge bodied persons are those suffers from these disease. Other hormones that are secreted from this gland are ACTH, Adrenocorticotropic hormone, which controls the production of hormones from the adrenal gland. Then next is antidiuretic hormone or ADH hormone, which controls the amount of water the kidneys can reabsorb when they are filtering the waste from the body. Next are the gonadotropic hormone. They looks after the gonads and secretes hormones like follicle stimulating hormone, which helps in the production of sperms in the male body, that is the reproductive unit of male, and it also stimulates the production of follicles in female body. GTH also secretes luteinizing hormone or LH, which looks after the testosterone, which helps the testis to produce testosterone and releases ovum from the ovarian follicle in female body. The next gland is thyroid gland. It has two lateral lobes and it is located in the neck region just in front of the windpipe. The major hormone from thyroid gland is thyroxine. It controls the cellular metabolism of the body, thus maintains the basal metabolic rate BMR of the body. It also looks after the energy production and oxygen consumption taking place in the body. Iodine is the major component of this thyroxine hormone, and due to lack of iodine production there can be hyposecretion of thyroxine, which causes hypothyroidism, commonly known as goiter, in which swelling of the thyroid gland can be seen. If there's a hypersecretion of this thyroxine hormone, then that leads to weight loss of the body due to excessive respiration and other functions. Thyroxine also secretes another hormone which is known as calcitonin, which controls the calcium levels in the blood. The next gland is the parathyroid gland. It is these are four small glands which are embedded in the posterior surface of the thyroid gland. They secrete parathormones. which regulates the calcium and phosphorus metabolism that plays a very important role in the bone formation. Next is the adrenal gland. Adrenal glands, there are two adrenal glands in the body. Each of them consists of an inner medulla and an outer cortex. They are present on top of each kidney. Now, adrenal cortex secretes hormone which regulates the metabolism of the carbohydrate, fat, proteins, minerals in the body. And adrenal medulla secretes two major hormones, which are the adrenaline or epinephrine, which is also known as the emergency hormone, as it is always secreted under stress or stress related, or when a person performs extensive exercises. In that situation, it generally increases the heart rate and gives signals to the body whether to fight with the situation or flight, that is run away from the situation. The noradrenaline or norepinephrine is another hormone which is completely antagonistic in function to adrenaline. That means it acts exactly opposite. If adrenaline increases the heart rate, then noradrenaline will always try to decrease that heart rate in situation. Suppose when you are running very fast, then adrenal secretion happens and your heart rate increases. Whereas while you are resting, your heartbeat decreases due to secretion, or the rate of heart rate generally decreases due to secretion of noradrenaline. Next, these glands are mixed glands, that is, they secrete both enzymes and hormones, or can perform as they have ducts as well as they are ductless, so they can perform both the functions of endocrine gland and exocrine gland. First one is pancreas, which are secreted from the pancreas secretes two major hormones. First is insulin, which is secreted from the beta cells of the islets of Langerhans. What insulin does is it does not let accumulation of excess glucose in the body cells and converts this excess amount of glucose in the body to glycogen and store it in the liver for future use. Everybody is pretty much synonymous with the disease diabetes, or sugar we call it generally. This occurs due to the damage of these beta cells of Langerhans, where the insulin secretion ceases, and that results into accumulation of excess glucose in the body, and thus through urine glucose is also released from the body. That causes the disease diabetes mellitus, which is commonly known. Next hormone is glucagon, which is secreted from the alpha cells of islets of Langerhans. It is exactly opposite in function to insulin. It generally increases the glucose level, that in situations of starving, when there is excess glucose that is already stored in the liver, the glucagon converts this glycogen to glucose again in the body, so that body can have its own, can maintain the glucose level. Next, the gland is testis. The next mixed gland is testis. We know the male reproductive organ. It is present inside that, in the scrotum. The hormone that it secretes is testosterone, which we call the male sex hormone. Testosterone controls the development of the reproductive organ and the secondary sex characters which occurs at puberty, that is the deepening of the voice, growth of facial hair and body hair. The next gland is ovary. Ovary is almond shaped. It is present on both sides of the uterus below the fallopian tube, where it goes down below the fallopian tube. It secretes hormones, important hormones like progesterone and estrogen. Progesterone regulates the menstruation and supports pregnancy in the female body, whereas estrogen maintains and develops the secondary sex characters in female. So this is just a summation of the endocrine system. I hope you all like it.